Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Societal Narcissism. This video is sponsored by contribution from Carter Pewterschmidt. But before we get to Carter's video, please go to the description box, click the Rumble link. Please watch over on Rumble. I'm still monetized over there, and it'll help me out greatly. On to Carter's video. So, Carter writes in asking me to review this Walsh clip from yesterday. Hi, Ollie. I know you said you didn't want to review the assaults that took place in Cincinnati this past weekend, but I'm wondering if you'll review this rant by Matt Walsh yesterday about the Irish, in parentheses, police chief. He's right on the money, but I'd like your reaction too. Carter. Well, absolutely, Carter, and this is a subject I absolutely wanted to tackle. So, and I haven't watched any of this. So, and I read the caption. Send the male cop. Matt Walsh just torched the feminization of law enforcement. You have an emergency. They gave you a choice. You can have a female cop or a male cop. Which are you choosing? 100 times out of 100, you're saying yes. Send the male cop. So this is 3 minutes 22 seconds. Let's go.
Since we're talking about this police chief, can I just ask, are there any male police chiefs left in this country? I mean, we've covered several stories this.
And every time you see one of these incidents go down, okay, something messed up, out marches the girl boss police chief. Nearly every single time. It's just incompetence. It's just role playing. And this woman blamed the victims, blamed the bartender, blamed everybody but the guys going out assaulting people, punching women in the face. Head stomping, body slamming. No. There she is. There she is, and with all her matriarchal empathy. Oh, we are living in a matriarchal society at this point, and that ain't a good thing. That's not a good thing.
This year, where we play a clip of a law enforcement press conference. Unfortunately, there are things happening frequently that necessitate police press conferences, law enforcement press conferences. And maybe you've noticed this pattern too. It's like it's a female police chief in all of them. You know, we've had stories down in New Orleans, female police chief. Washington, D.C., female police chief. Even right now there are two major stories happening, and a female police chief or commissioner is in both.
New York City. Well, you got Cincy, New York City with that shooting the other night. How many times have we seen her, that the head of detectives commissioner in New York City? Like, come on, man. Every time. And that's Cincinnati, New Orleans, like every time.
The situation in Cincinnati. And there's also the mass shooting in New York City last night.
Yep.
Female police commissioner there. Austin, Texas has a female police chief. So does Memphis. So does Chattanooga. In fact, did you know this? And I looked this up. There are three, well, this part I already knew. There are three major cities in Ohio, Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland. They're like smaller cities too, but there's the three biggest cities in Ohio. All of them, all three of them, have a female police chief.
How is that possible? How is it possible that all these cities, the best candidate is now every time a female? How? Knowing the stresses and the rigors and the physical demands of the job. Is that to say there's no female that can rise to the rank of chief? Absolutely not. But how is it in every one of these cities? It's not possible. So what you have is somebody playing police chief, playing cop, doing her job from matriarchal empathy. How is that working out in any of these cities? These cities that these women are in charge of securing are the most violent in the country. All of them. How's that matriarchal empathy working out for everybody?
And how does that happen? Does it really happen because it just so happens that in every major city in the state, the most qualified leader of a police force happened to be an old woman?
Yep. How is that exactly? How is that possible? It's not possible. It's not possible. It's a male-dominated industry, and it needs to be because of the demands of the job. Is that to say females can't be cops? No. You absolutely need female cops for a lot of reasons, especially for important undercover work. But just because you're having them do undercover work under the guidance of the detective bureau or whatever doesn't mean every one of them should be out patrolling in a patrol. Every one of them can go be in a patrol car or be the chief of police. You need them for specialized reasons because there are things you have to do that a male can't, places males can't go. So it is a necessity. You have to have girl cops. You can't have this many of them in charge. There's no way. This many of them in these major cities were the best qualified people to take on that job. There's just no way.
Really? Old, out-of-shape women are, just so happens. Every major city in this state just so happens this is the most qualified person.
That would be like kind of going into a hospital. Okay, in every hospital, every major hospital you go to, the head of nursing is a man. All the nursing leads are men. It's not a male-dominated industry. Why? Because that is an industry that entails a great deal of empathy, a nurse. It would be like, how is there so many men at running this female-dominated industry? Same thing here. It's not possible. And nobody would question it the other way. Nobody, it wouldn't even happen. Doesn't happen the other way. But if it did, if it did go the other way, we had this, all these men running as head nurses and you'd hear about it, you'd know about it.
Does anyone believe that? Does anyone believe that? You have an emergency, any kind of emergency. You get on the phone with 911. You need to send the cops out. Let's imagine a scenario where they give you a choice. They don't give you any other information, just generically. You can have a female cop or a male cop come. You get no other information about them. Who are you choosing?
Male. Who are you choosing? That was what was in the text above. Who are you choosing? You're choosing the male. Because you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting with the... You're choosing the male. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 100 times out of 100, you're saying yes, send the male cop.
Yeah.
Unless you want to step up and say, no, I'd ask for the female cop. Because if you say that, then you're either lying or you're insane. So these are things that we all know, and yet you've got people who still insist on denying it. But fortunately, I think there's an increasing number of people who are just done with that. Just done with it. Just done with playing pretending that we don't know what we all know. Pretending like every person in the country knows you have an emergency. You'd prefer for male cops to show up.
Male cops, male firefighters, but you got to act like, this is some kind of horrible thing to say. Well, the proof is in the pudding. How are these ladies doing in these cities that they're running? And it not only goes for female police chiefs or fire chiefs, it goes for the politicians as well and the senators. More and more women becoming senators and Congress. Like, how is it working out? How is it working out for anybody long term? Not good.
You see the press conference after something bad is happening. You see the press conference. You feel a lot better when you see the male police chief over the female. You see that woman, this out of shape old woman, looks like a librarian standing up there,
scolding everybody, blaming the victims, blaming you for sharing the videos, blaming social media, blaming the bartender. They let these guys go on a $400 bail. It's disgusting, and acting like we're not seeing what we're seeing. Why? Because women govern to the outlier. Everything to them, they're always worried about, well, what about this? They're always looking for the outlier. So then they can govern to that. They're always looking for the exception, or don't leave out this, or don't, and then you got to govern. No, that's not how it works. They're always, it's just their nature. They're always looking for the outlier. You can't govern to the outlier. You can't govern to the exception. You can't. You can't govern to the what ifs. What if this? What if that? Those are extreme minorities. Those are outliers. And every single one of these women governs to the outliers. And that's why the society and the culture and all of it is in the situation it's in.
That does not inspire confidence in anyone. And we all know that. The only difference is that there are some of us who are willing to say, there are those, there's everybody else who's still playing pretend, still playing the game.
Right. There's fewer and fewer people playing the game these days and willing to pretend. Like, I can't do it. I just can't. Like, I'm at a point now, even around here. Let me finish this up and then I'll get into it.
And if you're still playing the game, I just got no use for you. I got no use.
Exactly. And let me give you another, my deal with girl cops. I talked about what happened in Oakland Park with this girl cop stepping up to me because I'm going up to talk to them, and she's like, "Don't ever approach cops like that." I'm like, there were 10 cops, 9 of them male, and the female comes at me because she's got, like, what are you doing? I said, like, what are you doing right now? And I said to the other cops, she's going to get someone hurt. And they knew it. And, like, the look they gave you, like, they knew it. They knew it. And, I see some of these when I'm on the river walk in the morning. They have a lot of cops walking the beat. A lot of girl cops carrying 80 pounds. They got more equipment than what they weigh. Yet they got arm sleeve tattoos. Like the whole thing is like a cosplay. And you just roll your eyes. And then the one that really just kind of gets under my skin. On my route, I walk down the river. And there's a high rise, on the end of my road where the road kind of bends back around, and it's right on the river. It overlooks directly on the river. It's like maybe 25, 30 story luxury condo high rise. And I'm telling you, there are 2 fully decked out, police vehicles, one from Fort Lauderdale, a sergeant's vehicle, and one from Pompano, might be something with a P. Pompano, is it Pompano? Pompano, whatever. 2 different departments, okay? These are like the Chevy Tahoes. These are the big suckers, too. These are the big suckers. So, like, it's just sitting there is probably between each vehicle, $200,000 a pop. Cost the taxpayers for these things. The cost of the vehicle, all the equipment inside of it, and probably $400,000 worth of police equipment sitting there. And neither vehicle ever move. The Fort Lauderdale one is a sergeant's vehicle. The only time I ever see that Fort Lauderdale vehicle move is when the girl sergeant, Fort Lauderdale sergeant, is driving her daughter to school. And then by the time I get back, the truck is, the vehicle is back. I mean, I've seen it missing on a very, very rare occasion, but that sucker is always there, as is the other vehicle. That's the other police vehicle that never moves. And I'm figuring, okay, this must be a married cop. One's a Pompano cop. One's okay. And that Pompano vehicle never moves either. And then I see another female cop getting into the Pompano vehicle, like on some rare occasion. Now, I don't know if the two of them are a couple or not, or if they both just happen to be. But the fact that I'm thinking they're some kind of couple, because neither vehicle ever freaking moves, and they're both cops, and they must be got some kind of, like, why is this vehicle? And I look at this, I'm like, how is she getting away with this? And I know how she's getting away with it. How they all get away with it. Sexual harassment complaint. We know. These vehicles never move. Years ago, I would have made a big, like, what is this? Like, just let it go. I get so tempted. I'm like, to just call that. Like, what is this about? Why is this sergeant's? And this is a sergeant. Why does this sergeant's vehicle never leave her house except when she takes her daughter to school? Like, why? Because I've seen it. Things always there. Like, is she hanging out here on duty? Does she go clock in on duty and then just never? I mean, I think I've seen her in uniform, so I don't think she's on a disability. And if she was on a disability, I don't know if they'd let her keep the vehicle. But is she just clocking in, just sitting in her luxury high-rise on the river? This is what I'm talking about. It drives you nuts. Girl cops, man. It's like they're cosplaying. And I've seen her, and I looked at her, I'm like, you're a sergeant? I'm like, you're a sergeant? It's like watching her climbing. I watched her climb into the vehicle. Like, she's 115 pounds. And you're leading the men. Like, come on. And then you wonder why these cities get out of control. Luckily, I've never actually seen in Fort Lauderdale a female walking without a male cop with her. There's always a male with her. Always. So I don't know if they do that by design or not, but in Broward, they just let them roam free. You know, they let their female cops roam. I always see a female cop with a male, except for that sergeant. But I only ever seen her taking her kid to school, so I don't know what's going on there. Like, you know, it was disturbing that police chief in Cincy. I mean, she really after the brutality in those videos, but that's your matriarchal system. You know, they've been screaming patriarchy this, patriarchy that. That's your female police chief after watching a woman get punched in the face and knocked out and people getting their heads kicked in. Why? Because they're the wrong color. That's your female empathy for you. More of that, right? So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much, Carter, for another contribution. I appreciate the clip. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with either the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to subscribe to me. Subscribe both of my channels on Rumble. If you haven't watched the video over there yet, please give it a click. Even a click helps. Subscribe to me on X and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.